On our developing story, Minister of Information and Government spokesperson in Malawi, Gospel Kazako, says the intricacies and legalities of the case in which the Bushiris will be extradited largely depends on the law. He says if the law determines otherwise, Malawi would not be ready to extradite the Bushiris for trial in South Africa.
But we don't have to be negative. It's the same law also that can allow that the Bushiris be extradited. And if it does, we will extradite them. The same law, if it informs us that they cannot be extradited, if it does, we will also not be able to extradite them. So it's about the law. It's not about this government. It's not about any individual. It's not about any amount of anger or any amount of emotion or pushing. It's all about the law. We're just going to follow the law.
The minister officially confirmed that the Malawian government had received a formal request for the extradition of the Bushiris from Malawi to South Africa to face trial on charges of fraud, theft, and money laundering.
I can confirm that we have received documentation from South Africa. These are documents that are a request for the extradition of Bushiri and his wife. So yeah, we have received them this morning. So far, so good. I think the problem has been on your side. We follow the law here. We follow the processes here. We follow the procedures here. But I think there were one or two things that were not stitching up very well. But the ones that we have received now, I think that's it. Yes, we have the documents now. We have the formal request from the South African government.
An assessment process will officially commence consequence of the receipt of the formal request to ascertain whether the couple could be brought back to South Africa. He said with the formal request received from South Africa, the recent ruling of the court in Longwe that a couple's arrest was illegal will be revisited.
There is a very, very high likelihood that the appeal will have to be relooked again and reviewed again, having received the request from South Africa. Certainly, there will have to be certain new movements towards that direction.
The couple had violated their bail condition, which abhorred them from traveling outside the Republic of South Africa, compelling the state to declare them fugitives. It has been a long, drawn-out case that has sought to threaten the diplomatic relations between the two countries. For over a month now, South African authorities appeared to have no answers to how the Bushiris escaped the country, owing to the fact that their passports are in possession of South African authorities.
So when we heard that Bushiri has left, we wanted to know what mechanism has she used, because Chairperson, the Bushiris were instructed by the court to hand in their passports, their travel document. But then we consulted our movement control system. We requested it to show us the movement of these two people through our ports of entry. And our movement control system indicated that the last time the Bushiris went officially through any port of entry in South Africa was on the 19th of January 2019, when they entered South Africa through the OR Tambo International Airport. After the 19th of January 2019, there's no movement in our movement concept that indicates that any of the Bushiris went through any of our border posts. That includes on these days, on the whole of days of last week. It only reflects January last year. Of course, there are newspaper statements about them having gone into Lesotho by bribing a Home Affairs official. Obviously, when a Home Affairs official is bribed, it's not easy for us to know. At the same time, we do catch people who are bribed in Home Affairs, but it does not necessarily mean we catch them all the time. So I took liberty to check with Lesotho. Now, I want to mention, Chairperson, when any plane, any commercial aircraft, let me say, leaves Lesotho, it can only go to OR Tambo International Airport. When anybody is in Lesotho, they want to go to any part of the world, they can only do so by going through a port of entry into South Africa and out again. There's no other mechanism. So the only other mechanism a person may may fly from Lesotho, apart from the ones I've mentioned, is through a chartered flight. I checked with my counterpart in Lesotho, and they checked with Lesotho International Airport. There were no chartered flight that landed on Maseru Airport for last week. The first flight that landed and is still there was bringing a team from Burundi, and it landed on Sunday, a day after all this saga happened. So the issue of Lesotho, we dismiss. So that's why, Chairperson, we issued a statement that the Bushiris did not live with the president of Malawi, neither did they go through our port of entry, neither did they produce any of the passports. I must also state the 5 passports that they've got, because of we have got their numbers, they will be caught on our movement control system if any one of them go out.
It has been a situation even the police minister is at a loss.
I remember very well that the police, especially the Hawks, even the prosecution, and PA, they said, don't give this man the bail.
Yes.
And the man was given the bail. And I think even the conditions were not strict enough. For instance, was requested or was instructed to report twice a week. That's Monday and Friday.
So in between, he could run away.
As it happened. But I'm not going to tell how he left now the country. There are several stories. But the government this afternoon, through the spokesperson of the government, DG Williams, they have put the fact to say did not go with the president of Malawi. Well, also I did ask the police, who have assured me too, that it was not through the flight or the aeroplane of the president. So that's what then we need to know exactly. How did then leave the country? We have spoken, as you said, to Dr. Mtswaleti, that all of us will have to be briefed to find out exactly what happened.
It appears the escape of the Bushiris might still remain a mystery for years to come.